Raised on a family Angus farm in eastern Ohio, Jan Lyons began an amazing life in the cattle industry, one that has seen her share the beef industry story with presidents and host Japanese trade teams on her own ranch. Married nearly 60 years ago, Jan and her husband Frank made the move to the Flint Hills of Kansas when he served in the Army.
And I particularly liked the area because I could have a few cows. And so we started the ranch with just a few cows. The girls had to help out because Frank, my husband, worked full-time in town. He's a physician and very proud of him and what he does, but main responsibility fell on me and the girls.
Lyons Ranch may have started small, but it didn't stay that way. A leading producer of Angus seed stock, the family has grown, adding kids and now grandkids into the operation. Early on, Jan got involved with the Kansas Livestock Association and the Kansas Beef Council and helped in the mid-1980s when the time came for a national beef checkoff.
It's when Joanne Smith made a trip to Kansas. I think it was '85 actually, but she was talking about the beef checkoff and the people. We had a committee involved through our beef council. It took a lot of effort. It took a united effort throughout the country to get support, because the beef checkoff, as it was proposed and exists as it is today, is a producer-driven organization. Everybody pays and everybody benefits.
I remember voting for the beef checkoff. Mom encouraged us as teenagers to make sure that we were involved in that conversation and the support of the beef checkoff.
When the beef referendum was finally voted through, Mom had recognized really early on that it was going to be the one program that all beef producers were going to partner in. We were all going to have a stake in the industry and keeping that beef demand high.
Appointed to the Cattlemen's Beef Board in 1990, Jan served as Beef Board Chair in 1996, and she was one of the leaders who worked to focus on the goal of building beef demand.
Bottom line was we were facing a severe decline. The CBB, the Cattlemen's Beef Board, realized something needed to happen. I remember serving on the first committee task force that looked at the demand drivers. We were going to analyze and figure out what made people select beef, such that our whole checkoff dollars became moved in the direction of targeting demand.
Jan Lyons always realized that the answer to beef's marketing troubles was consumer demand. If we had enough demand, then our product would be profitable to produce.
I think without the beef checkoff, many of us that are out there in agriculture wouldn't still be in business today. Passing the checkoff was one of the most important programs that we could do. In fact, as producers, it's our own self-help program, and we wouldn't have the way of life we have today if we hadn't concentrated our resources and actually targeted special programs around the checkoff.
A major challenge came in 2003 with a case of BSE found in the U.S. At that time, Jan was serving in leadership with NCBA, and she became one of the key spokespersons who provided facts and reassurance about the safety of U.S. beef.
This was a crisis that could wipe us out. It was an all-hands-on-deck moment, and this industry came together as never had before.
During the BSE scare in 2003, I don't think we could have had a better spokesperson than Jan Lyons, president of our National Association, always having a microphone stuck in her face. But because of Jan Lyons' personality, her style, her ability to articulate the issues, it gave consumers a confidence and a comfort they would not otherwise have gotten. She was exactly the right person during the right time.
Over the decades, Jan has served as a leader and one who pursued whatever was needed to keep beef demand and the U.S. cattle industry strong.
So my mom was involved in industry organizations when it was mostly a man's world, right? She got really involved because she felt like that responsibility She taught that to Amy and I, and she's made some tremendous impacts that will help us for generations to come.
She can be tough in tough situations. I call that velvet over steel.
She was able to serve the industry at a time when there was a lot going on. She recognized early on that having that $1 a head beef checkoff was going to be so important for all of us to keep beef demand strong.
We are building on the shoulders of giants. I am just one that was able to be there at that time to do my part to help keep the checkoff going, because if anything, we need more resources today because we have more challenges facing us.
Dedicated to the future of the beef industry for generations to come, and the 2024 recipient of the Beef Checkoff Visionary Award, Jan Lyons.